Hello, everyone. This is the Horsemen Hangout. It's April the 30th, coming to you live on a special night on YouTube. It is Thursday night here. It is the NFL draft is going on right now, but more importantly, we have a fresh Horseman Hangout, a little different format tonight. I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to introduce the panel. Currently, we're down two horsemen. Mr. Z is not able to be on the call tonight, and Mr. Lane's having some technical difficulties. He should be on soon. He's rebooting his computer, but we wanted to get started. We do have Mr. Stephen Page right there, the good-looking beard. There you go.
My heel beard, as they say.
Heel beard. Yeah, don't grow it as long as Daniel Bryan. Nobody wants to see that. Okay. Mr. Root TV right there.
What's going on, Horseman? Great to be here live on a Thursday night, my favorite day of the week, Thursday. You didn't know? I bet you didn't know that. I love Thursdays.
And the second appearance of Big Josh Hinkle to the Hangout. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Justin. Thanks for having me. That was a surprise. I got the video call and you guys want me on. So, okay, I'm on.
No problem. We enjoy having you on. Enjoy having a packed house here. But anyway, as you guys normally know, I am the host. However, tonight, let's just say in the past week I've been extremely busy and I haven't got a chance to do much of anything. So I think it would benefit the show if I will be involved in this hangout, but if I turn the host over to my brother, Mr. Root TV, who has a lot on his mind, I think it would serve the room better. So without further ado, I'll still be in control, but Mr. Lane's back. Let's see if it works. I'm going to turn it over.
All right, y'all. What's up?
There he is. Mr. Lane is the host now.
Mr. Lane is here.
Well, I had to reboot it, so I had to reboot my computer. So it's been a little while since I've rebooted. How you all doing?
Pretty good. We're just getting that round of introductions. We're live here on YouTube.
Excellent.
I was just saying that Rue's going to host today. So, Rue, without further ado, go ahead and take it away. I'm going to drink my beer, and you just take the reins here.
All right, guys. Well, I want to have a little informal show. I didn't do a strict format sheet. I just figured tonight, it's a Thursday night. I think we should have a Horseman Hangout where we just got what's off our chest, bit of a shoot promo style, informal edition of the Horseman Hangout. So basically, I don't want to start with the typical Extreme Rules because I think it's Thursday. It's almost been a week since the pay-per-view. I think we've all digested that. We don't need to talk about that. What's hot today? Well, I believe later tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, 10 p.m. Chris Jericho is interviewing Stephanie McMahon, Triple H guy. Stephen Page, your dream woman, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley, is going to have a shoot interview live with Chris Jericho on the network. Anybody have any thoughts on this? Is this going to be a fluff piece, or you think you think Chris is really going to put Stephanie on the spot tonight?
I don't know. I don't think, Jericho kind of, I don't know. Jericho's kind of toes the company line still.
Right.
I think it would have been better off. I think it would have been more hard-hitting, real interview with Stone Cold more than Chris Jericho. That's just my opinion.
I do, and I don't know, I just have this hunch that there's going to be a lot of talk about the days when Chris Jericho used to call her a trash bag, bottom-feeding whore, or hoe, what was it, hoe?
Oh, that's cool. I don't mind that. That was pretty funny days, if you ask me.
Those were good. Yeah, I mean, by my calculations, I believe that was the year 2000, and that was really the last year where I think... What the hell was that? The last year where WWE was a must-see TV, 2000.
And then the Alliance in 2001.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think that was... Well, we had to watch that because you wanted to see the invasion, even though it didn't pan out to how we wanted it to turn out. But I've been listening to a lot of shoot interviews. I listened to the Bill DeMont interview with Vince Russo and a couple other people. And I'm kind of getting the feeling that the main reason the invasion angle didn't succeed, I don't really think it is because that Vince didn't have the major players. I feel, and I think a lot of people feel, that it didn't succeed because Vince McMahon didn't want it to succeed, and he wanted, to make WCW look inferior and bring in these I hate to call them scrubs, but I'll just say mid-carders instead of shelling out the money right away for the big guys, which technically they were making guaranteed money in AOL Time Warner, but if you really want to set the world on fire, Vince at the time, WWE was still hot. They could have shelled out money and did that, but that's besides the point. Mr. Lane, what are your memories of the WCW invasion of WWE? Do you look back fondly on that, or do you think it was a botched angle?
You know what? I think WCW had to basically work with what they had, because you had some of the other talent that were still under the Time Warner contracts of WCW. Like, the NWO didn't debut until really after the invasion angle had already passed. It already had already run its course, so to speak. So, there was some quality rivalries. I think case in point will be like Jeff Hardy against Rob Van Dam. I thought that was a very underrated rivalry for those guys. If you ever see that match in Invasion, I thought that was a solid match. Booker T, I think, earned more of his stripes. He got a major push. He was one of the more major beneficiaries of the Invasion angle. I think. I mean, we all remember him back in the Harlem Heat days. Him and Stevie Ray, they were a very underrated tag team back then. So. I think that I don't think the Invasion angle was a total loss. Basically, quite frankly, I don't think it was a total loss. I mean, could it have been better? Of course, it could have been better.
Right.
I mean, we would have liked to have seen more big guys. I mean, we could have maybe seen Goldberg sooner, but he eventually debuted. Sting, it took him like almost 15 years for him to debut in a WWE ring.
Yeah,
so,
I bring it up, Mr. Lane, because of the debacle with Sting at WrestleMania. He lost, and I think what are we about? That was in March or beginning of April. When was Mania? Beginning of April, I think, right? Or end of March, whatever. I thought when Sting lost, there would be some sort of meaning behind that, or retribution, but we haven't seen Sting to get his heat back. So this leads me to believe that the victory by Triple H was similar to how they handled the Invasion angle, where it's just this mental victory for Vince McMahon that, like, wrestling is of course entertainment, but this is the one way that they can stick it to someone and say, yeah, we're better. That's just my opinion. Big Josh, you are from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now I know there was a lot of WCW fans down that way. During the Monday Night Wars, were you a WCW fan, Big Josh, or were you a WWE fan, or were you a flipper?
Technically, a flipper, because just a curiosity, what was going on Nitro. It's just like the NWO '96 was the hottest thing, and then you look over on Raw, it's just. When Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara was running the Attitude Era, they're just slowly building up. Vince McMahon gathering the troops, and then it was just at the end. Vince McMahon had more motivation, more planning, more everything, and that's how he won the wars. So it's just a case of what was hot during the times in the mid-'90s, early '90s, mid-'90s, 2000s, and everything.
Yeah. Justin, I have a theory that I want to run by you, Mr. Justin, if you don't mind. I want you to get your opinion on this, okay?
Yeah.
There's been some talk among. I know Big Josh has heard some of the shoot interviews on our brand here with Mr. Russo. One of the things he says is wrong with wrestling today is a lot of the younger guys don't look. The problem is a lot of them. To the casual fan, they don't look like wrestlers. In other words, they don't look like tough guys. They look like average. They're great workers. They're awesome. I mean, guys like Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, excellent workers, not disputing that. But to someone who's a casual fan or just trying to flip channels and wants to be attention grabbed, those guys, Vince is saying, are not unique looking enough. They don't really look like wrestlers. They don't even look like tough guys in the real world. In other words, if we saw Seth Rollins at PJ Willihan's or Daniel Bryan at the Phillies game, no one would think twice about these guys as looking like wrestlers. Not to say that Daniel Bryan isn't over. But the point that I wanted to ask Jussie is I kind of come up with my own theory as to why a lot of the younger wrestlers look more like average guys. And my theory is, the average 25-year-old kid who wants to get into wrestling, or maybe is in NXT right now, 10 years ago, they were 15 years old. So in 2005, they were 15 years old. So they are not the crop of wrestlers who got into wrestling because of the Attitude Era. These are kids who got into it because they were hardcore wrestling fans. So I hate to use the term zoizas, but they are the wrestlers who are smart marks like us are now in the business. Now, what happened to the Bam Bam Bigelows, the Undertakers, the Sids, the Goldbergs, Scott Steiners, Road Warrior Hulk, guys like this who actually look like wrestlers? Now, I want to preface that by saying you don't have to look like a jacked up steroid guy to be successful in the business, but this is just a theory. I think what happened is probably longer than a decade ago, the big tough guys who, look like menacing people who you were intimidated by and afraid of, and, guys like that, they stopped wanting to be wrestlers because UFC became mainstream. Now, all those guys like Cain Velasquez and, heavyweight, the big menacing guys who, quote unquote, look like wrestlers, I feel like their calling today is mixed martial arts. So they want to train to be fighters because that's generally what big, menacing, tough guys do today. I don't see too many of that. As opposed to in wrestling today, I'm seeing a lot of smaller guys because, I don't know, the smaller guys with awesome moves, guys like Sami Zayn and Neville and things. Well, Neville's kind of mid range, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like the big guys like Bundy and guys like that who are just big, not like holy crap, look at that guy. I think they're more drawn in today's society to MMA instead of getting into entertainment. What's your opinion, Jussie?
That's a great soliloquy you went on there, but I was just thinking about it. I think it's not as much there aren't as many big guys out there that look like wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is the wrestling fan has become a lot smarter and they know what they want. And even though Vince sees a wrestler in the old sense of the word, the real wrestling fans, the guys that are there the night after Raw for WrestleMania, the ones that are going to boo the big guy, and cheer Neville and Bryan and guys with personality and guys that can wrestle, as they say.
Yeah.
I think that has had more influence on the business than you actually think. Because even though we think that McMahon holds all the cards, I think all of these, ROH and Lucha actually has had some, and NXT. I think you're seeing a shift, and it's got a lot more to do with what we want than what Vince sees.
But pause right.
No, wait. Let me use you on for a while.
All right,
maybe those big guys out there, but I think they know. Vince knows that when they get up here, they're not going to fly. It's not like 1993 anymore.
Right. But I get what you're saying. But in my mind, and I guess I threw the wrong name out there, like King Kong Bundy or something. I'm not necessarily talking about big plotting guys like Bundy or Yoko or Mabel, which could fall into the category they look like wrestlers, but I'm more or less thinking of guys. Yeah, I'll even use guys from like the Attitude Era, Undertaker, Rock, even Triple H. Let's see, from WCW, Goldberg.
I think you still got big guys. I mean, like Damian Sandow's a big guy. I mean, but the stars.
I agree with you. But I think, and I'll get it, guys, I'm sorry to alienate you guys from this conversation because I'm going to throw to you in a second. But I think what I'm saying is it's less, has a little bit to do with size, but it's got more to do with that intangible that intangible that Roddy Piper had, the intangible that Jake Roberts had, the intangible that the Road Warriors had. You know what I'm saying?
It factor.
It factor. I don't like when I see somebody like Tyson Kidd or a guy who I love in the ring who is awesome, El Generico. You know, we knew him from when he was El Generico. He's awesome, but let's face it, he looks like Uncle Don skinny version or something. You know, red. You know. Not that, I mean, I guess I'm stereotyping.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying I don't think those guys have the it factor. Stephen Page, how do you feel about this? Do you think wrestlers today just don't have that it factor, or do you think maybe I'm missing the point here?
I think, Vince goes with the smaller guys to keep certain fans around that would normally jump to UFC or just not watch it in general. I think Vince keeps those smaller guys around, like I said, for that reason. But there aren't a lot of big guys. I mean, on the main roster, we have Big Show and Kane are the two biggest guys, quote-unquote, big guys on the roster. I mean, like, Juicy said, Damien Sandow's a big guy, but he's not, like, right now where he is in standing in the company, he's not, like, a quote-unquote big star.
Right. Mr. Lane.
Yeah.
If WWE, like Stephen Page said, are want to appease the smart fans by keeping the smaller guys in the business, which I'm not opposed to. I was just making a point. And then why the heck don't we see a return of the cruiserweight title? What?
Well, I think they used to have the lightweight heavyweight championship, years ago. So,
Or I mean, I think they unified it. I think during the Alliance they unified the light heavyweight and the cruiserweight.
Right,
Would you like to see that belt again, or you don't really care?
I would have no problem with it.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. Big Josh, before we get on to this football draft that's going on, Big Josh, do you have any comments on the kind of what I talked about, the intangible fact? Who's do you think the wrestlers of today, Big Josh, are less intimidating than the wrestlers of our childhood?
Yeah, because back then it was like Andre the Giant and Bundy and John Studd. They were like the special attractions that drew the people in. And then you fast forward to the 90s, you saw like the big giant Gonzalez fighting the Undertaker in '93.
Yeah.
But it's just it's no big guys. It's just the era of the guys who are like 220, 230. The most being like 275, then the Big Show at 500, and Mark Henry 399.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just how it is. And I was a big proponent of guys like Bryan and Punk, but there is something missing. Even though I love those guys, there's something missing, and I kind of miss it. All right.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
I was reading on the Twitter, Mr. Stephen Page tweeted something about the WWE Network being free. I thought it already was. They were offering 3 months. So what?
That was April. That was April, right?
Ugh.
I believe they're offering it. I believe I read on one of the websites. I think it was WrestleZone. That May is also free.
So basically, any month is going to be free. The first month that you order it.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm kind of pissed off because honestly, I've been paying since February of 2014, right? As you guys probably have been too, and or at least most of us. It doesn't make sense. Why don't we get a free month? I mean, I don't want to sound like a freeloader, but like, let's give a free month to the people who aren't buying it, but the people who have been loyal, let's give them no breaks.
They're not going to do that because the only thing they give a crap about is just Vince McMahon's getting your money.
And they know that the people that are in from day one aren't going to leave ever. So. Yeah,
because my subscription ended back in March, and it's just I had the free month, but it's just I don't know. I'm very apprehensive because the last time I re-signed up back in August, they charged me twice off my bank card. And looked at it, it said $10.96 for the WWE Network twice.
Hmm.
So That was the worst.
You pay $10.96
for the sales tax after $9.99. This came up $10.96.
Okay, I didn't realize that applied. I thought everybody got it for $9.99. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The applicable sales tax, the little parentheses, they always put in small letters. You can't see it.
Right. Yeah. Breaking news.
The app sales tax, so I didn't know that they added the state sales tax in there. So
Breaking news here from the Wrestling Newsline. Pardon the pun of the breaking news, not to make light of this situation, but Jeff Hardy has been involved in a dirt bike accident and has broken his leg, and he is out of TNA indefinitely. I just read that. So, big NFL draft tonight. Anybody want to take the reins? Because I haven't been following it too close, but I know you guys are probably pretty passionate about it. Mr. Lane,
Absolutely.
Tell me something about this draft tonight, if you'd like.
Well, in case anybody doesn't know about the NFL draft, quite frankly, you know, I'm watching it a little bit on the NFL Network and ESPN. They do have simulcasts on it right now. And as we all know, the first pick was Jameis Winston. A lot of Eagle fans are extremely disappointed that the Titans got Marcus Mariota. I mean, I've heard rumors of Mariota maybe potentially going to be drafted by the Eagles. But if the Eagles are smart, and I hope Justin's listening to me on this. He's a diehard Eagles supporter. I think they need to draft defense, either defense or wide receiver. I think those are the only potential picks I see, because if you're going to draft a player in the first round, you want him to make an immediate impact on your roster. Those are the ones that are going to get the bigger bucks, quite frankly, from the start. That's usually how that works. Now, some notable draft players that I see here, I don't know if you're all familiar with the running back from Georgia by the name of Todd Gurley. He went to the St. Louis Rams. Let's see, who else?
Mari Cooper went to the Raiders.
Mari Cooper went to the Raiders. The Washington Redskins drafted an offensive guard. The Bears drafted a wide receiver, Kevin White, from West Virginia.
I saw that.
A lot of people, one interesting pick, the Redskins had the 5th pick and took an offensive tackle from Iowa, and a lot of people didn't like that, which is funny because the Redskins have not been having good luck the past couple of years with draft picks, so we'll see how that pans out.
Well, we'll have to see about that because, you know, you got the offensive guard, you know, the offensive line needs, you know, you have to have, a solid offensive line, you know, to protect your quarterback. And let's see how healthy Robert Griffin III, RG3, whatever y'all want to call him, you know, let's see how good he is because he's been hurt really the last few years.
Long knees now?
Yeah, because I know I think he came back too soon after his first injury. I mean, after his first injury in the playoffs, I think he came back way too soon. I think he came back too soon, and then he got re-injured again, or he wasn't effective. I know because Washington had invested a lot of money towards, you know, Robert Griffin III, and unfortunately for the Washington Redskins, he hasn't panned out. I just saw a statistic. Huh?
I'm not mistaken. He likes to run.
Right. Well, I saw an interesting statistic of first-round quarterbacks that were drafted in like the last 5 years or so. Tim Tebow, believe it or not, the same Tim Tebow that signed with the Eagles about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, last week or 2 weeks ago, he's the only quarterback that has a winning record. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Hey, let me jump in here. Let's do something a little as we wait here. They're on pick 13. The Eagles draft 20. I don't know when the Broncos draft.
28.
28, and then the Pats, I guess, are last. I thought of a fun little game here. What we're gonna do is little draft game, pro wrestling style. So we're each going to draft one diva, one superstar, and one manager/valet. And we'll go in order, and then when we come up with our team, I will send those teams off to Mr. Z, and he will judge who has the best squad, and the winner will get a prize, a nod, and a firm handshake from me. That sound like a decent
Ron,
thing.
we're doing former. We can do former ones,
You
right?
can do anybody. This is all time. Yeah. Dorsey said he's in. I just texted him. He could do it.
Because
All right.
WWE doesn't really use that manager thing anymore.
Manager / valet, all time. Yeah, all time. Now, then, okay. All right.
Dead or alive?
And you got to say with the first
Live
pick.
forever.
With the first pick in the Horseman Hangout draft, you gotta go like that. All right. All right. So first we're gonna do WWE superstars, and I'm gonna. We only have 3 categories and 5 people, so I'm gonna go random. I'm gonna go. Mr. Lane, you can start.
All right. Well, the first pick of the Horseman Hangout draft, I, Mr. Lane, select
He's gonna pick The Rock.
superstar. You're putting me on the spot here.
Superstar Billy Graham.
Superstar.
Billy Graham.
I'm gonna go Sting.
Sting. Sting goes #1 overall to Mr. Lane. Wow. Mr. Lane? I want to get your comments. How do you feel about your pick?
I love my pick, actually. I like Sting. Sting's one of the all-time greats.
All right, great. Next on the clock is Mr. Josh Hinkle.
Oh, brother.
Josh Hinkle, if you're ready for your superstar pick, shoot it over with the second pick in the draft.
Okay. With the second pick in the Horseman draft, I pick Josh pick Hulk Hogan.
Ooh, that is a great pick. I can't believe he didn't go #1. What a great pick. Oh, he's got the Hogan. He was prepared. He's got the Hogan
Figure.
unboxed.
Oh, my gosh.
Unboxed.
Toys R Us earlier today, WrestleMania Heritage Series, WrestleMania 2.
Wow.
Awesome.
Cheers, Josh. Cheers, bro.
Cheers. All right, the third pick in the draft will go to Mr. Page. So pick away.
With the third pick in the Horseman draft, I select The Undertaker.
Wow. The Undertaker, #3. Interesting. We got Sting, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker off the board. The #4 pick in the draft will go to me. All right. And let me think about this. All right. Okay, with the 4th pick in the Horseman Hangout draft, the superstar round, I select Bret the Hitman Hart. Woo!
Good technical pick here.
The best there is, the best there was, the best there will be. Rue TV, it's your pick.
With the 5th pick in the Horseman Hangout draft, I select the man who, if had not been for him, there would be no modern wrestling era because Hulk Hogan would never have a foil. Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper. I love Roddy.
That is a curveball if I ever saw
Might be a little high.
No, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You're thinking of modern Piper. The old days, Piper made. If it wasn't for Piper, man, I don't think there'd be a Hogan. And if there wasn't a Hogan, I don't think the wrestling would be what it is today. So look at it that way.
I agree.
All right, now we're moving on to the second round, the manager / valet category here. All right. The first pick in the manager / valet we'll go reverse order. We'll go to Mr. Rue.
All right, manager / valet. Oh God, I had a pick in mind, but you can't pick this guy first. I'm going with the 5th or the 6th overall pick, but the first round of the managers. I select Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh my! Damn.
All right.
Piper and Brain. As you can see, we've got 2 of the best talkers on earth in my squad.
The
All
trash
right.
talkers. You're right.
I think I got #4. I got the next pick, so let me see here. So I want to take that guy. I don't think I do. Let's take. All right. With the second pick in the Horseman Hangout draft, manager / valet round, I select Paul Heyman. Thank you very much. Paul Heyman managing Bret Hart. Can you imagine that?
Oh my God.
All right.
Wow.
The third pick. Who's next? I can't remember. I think it was Steve. Steve, go ahead.
Well, of course. So we're on the third pick.
Yeah.
So the Horseman manager draft, I will go with Paul Bear, of course.
That was
The
my
matchup.
Yeah. All right, you go Paul Bear. Nice.
Oh yes.
There's an echo. I can hear an echo. It actually sounds like Paul Bear.
That
All
was
right, the next pick goes to Josh.
oh brother. I was thinking of someone that was with Hogan, but I'm gonna throw a curveball in. It's the fourth pick, right?
Yeah, in this round, yeah.
Alright, the fourth pick I picked in the Horsemen Hangout manager valet, the guy who put together the Horsemen in the 80s, J.J. Dillon.
Nice. I think Mr. Lane was eyeing up J.J. Dillon. If you don't, I think he was going to take him. Very nice pick.
That's an excellent pick there, bro.
Here on the Horseman Hangout. Mr. Lane, you have the last pick in the manager valet round. Go ahead.
This one's a tough one because I'm thinking of two quality managers. I know you and Rue stole my pick, stole my thunder, so to speak. I think one of the with the fifth overall pick for manager / valets, I'm gonna go with the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jimmy Hart managing Sting. Let me just run through this. Jimmy Hart is managing Sting for Mr. Lane. Josh has J.J. Dillon managing Hulk Hogan. Stephen Page has Paul Bear managing The Undertaker, familiar. I have Paul Heyman managing Bret Hart. And I have to say, might be in, well, you know, Rue has Bobby Heenan managing Roddy Piper. Now, the only thing with that is they both can talk, so I don't know. You'd have to pry the mic from their hands. I don't know if that works.
I think Piper hated Heenan during like primetime wrestling era, and then the late 80s, early 90s, they used to play it a lot.
How about for the third round, instead of doing divas, make it more interesting, how about we do personalities? Or like, you know, like it could be anybody, a commentator, it could be a diva, it could be, would that make better sense? Or like a match, or...
That different category, though. Something specific, though.
How about, I don't know, I feel like diva wouldn't be that fun. How about another? Yeah, let's do another superstar, and that'll be the tag team partner, and then your manager will manage them. I think that works. All right. So think about who you have so far and who your manager is, and who their tag team partner you want to team them up with. So we'll go in reverse order again. Mr. Lane, I'll give it back to you.
All right. So I'm drafting anybody I want or divas. I'm trying to remember here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's gonna be whoever it is. It's gonna be your tag team partner for your first superstar.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one I'm going to go with. Easy. With the first pick of the third round of the Horseman Hangout draft, I, Mr. Lane, will select the total package.
What?
Lex Luger.
That is not a smart pick. You are no.
Luger and Sting are good friends. That's his tag team partner.
You remember the Four Horsemen too? I think back '89 or '90.
That's correct. Yes, you are. You're right, man.
You had the entire wrestling superstar library, and you picked the total package.
Absolutely. What's wrong with that?
Fresh.
All right. Josh, you're up next. Now I'll remind you that your first pick was Hulk Hogan. So who are you going to team Hulk Hogan up with?
You know, you would think I would choose somebody that teamed up with him back in the 80s, but they exploded at WrestleMania 4. And then there was the other person that was with him in like the 90s. They were like the Mega Maniacs. But I'm throwing a curveball because they were friends before WrestleMania 3. I'm going with the second pick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, second pick, I Big Josh picked the eighth wonder of the world, Andre the Giant.
Wow.
Wow.
Imagine that tag team.
They teamed up in the late 80s against Bundy and Stud during that time.
Wow. We may have a winner here. We'll see what Mr. Zorzi says, though. All right. Mr. Lane can't believe it. His as Lex Luger and Sting will be crushed by Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
No. This is terrible. Terrible.
All right, Steve, your third pick. You already picked Taker and Paul Bearer. Could you be going the Kane route here?
I'm going with the Kane route.
He's gonna go the dark side. He's gonna go Kane.
Down Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, and they will also demolish the total package Lex Luger.
Oh man. All right, it's my pick. I've got Paul Heyman managing Bret Hart, and my next pick. Oh man, I want to get a good. All right, let's think here. All right. All right, I'm gonna go with the fourth pick in the third round of the Horsemen Hangout draft. I select. No, that can't work. Shit. Rue, do you want to go before me? I'll let you jump me. I had somebody, but I don't think it's gonna work.
With the next pick in the Horseman Hangout draft, the tag team partner of Roddy Piper and the co-wrestler that will be managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. The tag team partner of Roddy Piper will be the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Now, that's a great pick, but I think you picked that because you know Z's judging, and you know that he will favor you. He will favor you.
The thought came into my mind, but then overwhelmingly, I feel like that would be an awesome team, Piper and HBK, managed by Bobby Heenan. It can't get much better than that.
All right. Here's my pick. I originally, when I was thinking about it, I almost said Stone Cold, but I don't think that Heyman managing Stone Cold makes any sense. So I scratched that. So since it's all time, here we go with this one, guys. My third pick, the fifth pick in this round, is going to be with the manager of Paul Heyman and the superstar of Bret Hart, tag team partner Owen Hart. Owen Hart and Bret Hart.
Great pick.
Up right now. So let's recap. We'll continue with the hangout. I'm going to send it to Z for his thoughts. We'll do like a first, second, and third here. Am I missing somebody? 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, I got it. Okay. Mr. Lane's tag team is Sting and Lex Luger, managed by Jimmy Hart. Josh Hinkle has Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, managed by J.J. Dillon. Whew, that's a tough one. Steve has the classic team of The Undertaker and Kane, managed by Paul Bearer. I have Bret and Owen Hart, managed by Paul Heyman. By the way, I think I would turn them heel if I did that. But and Rue has Roddy Piper and the Heartbreak Kid, managed by Bobby Heenan. Also another very interesting. So I'm going to send this over to Z. And Rue, you want to take the reins again while I text this over to him?
Yeah, sure. You're gonna find out the answer there. Big Josh, give us the. This is a perfect spot because I don't think any of us are steady Lucha watchers. Give us the rundown of Lucha Underground from last night. Anything major happen?
Yeah, there was a match for the Lucha title between Prince Puma and Drago, and the stipulation was if Drago didn't win the championship, then he was banned from the temple. And Prince Puma defeated Drago, and at the end of the show, he walked out the temple, and at the end of it, you see this big flame come out. It's like the dragon shooting out the fire, and that was good. And then before that, it was a three-way match between Hernandez, King Cuerno, and the man called Cage. And the winner was the number one contender. And the twist was Hernandez is friends with Conan, and Conan is like the mentor of the champion, Prince Puma. So Hernandez is the new number one contender, but the thing I'm figuring out is the swerve that's going to happen is Conan's turning on Prince Puma, go with his boy Hernandez from back in the LAX days in TNA.
Sounds interesting. I really wish my cable company would have Lucha in English steady. So,
that spot was crazy you sent me, Rue.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was, but Josh, I sent my brother the spot where I wish I had his name, but a guy jumped from a scaffold from.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Al.
I've seen that. That was insane.
Yeah, Al Hanico, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that, and it was pretty insane.
Yeah. Big Josh. Stephen Page, what time does the Chris Jericho interview start? 10?
10, yeah.
10
I'm not
o'clock.
watching it.
You're not going to watch it?
There's a new Louis on tonight too, starring Robert Kelly, the comedian.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes behind, so tonight I will be 3 episodes behind of that. I gotta get caught up with that tomorrow.
Yeah, get the DVR
Maybe
going.
after tonight, maybe I'll watch after this.
Yeah, last week was great. One of my favorite episodes. It was great. All right, I'm just texting Z here. 1, 2. I'm missing somebody's picks. Who am I missing? Roos. Okay.
Guys, take a look at this Andy Kaufman figure that I have here. This is an Andy Kaufman figure complete with fabric. This is an old Jax figure, actually. And I got this on sale at, I believe, Ross or something.
Ross?
Yeah, there's Mr. Kaufman there. He's got a removable outfit, and he's got a removable neck brace. Is anybody familiar with Andy Kaufman, or am I talking myself here? You guys remember Andy?
Yep, I remember.
He's still alive, right?
He could be. The rumor has it he's somewhere in a foreign country, hiding in a basement somewhere. But Andy,
thing.
Yeah, Andy, man, like the concept of Andy would have worked so good today. He was just the master of the work shoot to fool people and thinking something is real. It's basically in essence, that's what pro wrestling was based on. It started in the carnivals as a way to get people's money, to fool them, and to think, well, at least the entertainment part of it. I mean, it started as a legit sport, and Andy was a master con man, even though he was a comedian, and he just worked people, and everybody believed it was real, but he knew what he was doing all along. Of course, we all remember Jerry Lawler, who I think Jerry Lawler has a new Blu-ray coming out soon, if it isn't out already, and I think he's going to discuss a lot about his feud with Andrew Kaufman here. So I'll be interested to watch that.
Guys, I have our results here.
Oh, Lord.
I have our results. And, wow, interesting. Okay. Let me just make sure. All right. All right, here are the results. I asked for the top 3 from Mr. Z to judge. I will give you the top 3 in order from 3, 2, 1. Coming in 3rd place, the team of Rowdy Roddy Piper, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, and Bobby Heenan, Mr. Root TV. So not a bad showing for that team there. Coming in 2nd place, I did not give him which of us actually picked. I just gave him the wrestler, the teams. So he didn't know who picked these. Coming in 2nd place with the team of Bret and Owen Hart, yours truly, right here, the silver medal. And coming in 1st place, this is a shocker, but I will say, the winner of the 1st annual Horseman Draft, The Undertaker, Kane and Paul Bear, Stephen Page. Steve, how does it feel to win the draft? How How does it feel to win the draft? You're gonna go to Disney World? You're gonna go to Disneyland?
Wally World. That's where I will be going.
The winner was Undertaker, Kane, and Paul Bear.
Yeah.
So you had the entire wrestling history to pick a team, and Mr. Z had all those teams to pick, and both Stephen Page and Mr. Z went with the Brothers of Destruction and Paul Bear. All right.
I was going to pick the Mega Powers.
Well, Z said that it's the most natural team in all three facets. So I mean, I think that team does mesh well together. So that could possibly be, if I had to pick, and I'm surprised they finished out of the top three, but Hogan and Andre, I think, would have been a pretty formidable team. But
that would have been a great angle because Andre turned on Hogan, and then maybe if Andre was healthy, they could have rekindled and become a huge tag team in the early '90s. But Andre passed away.
He did. That'd be awesome. But all right, that was fun. The 17th pick now in the first round. Eagles are picking in 3 picks, so I'm gonna try to watch that there.
I'm gonna predict that they are going to pick a college kid.
Who's watching?
I'm just watching some baseball highlights. Don't mind me.
Lane, I want to get you to take. What was it like watching the Orioles game with no fans?
Well, it was crazy. It was unbelievable.
How loud did the crack of the bat sound?
Yeah, it was pretty loud, but it was a crowd. It was an empty crowd in Baltimore, and you had the violence, which was awful still. And then you have the violence in Philadelphia, and I don't know if you saw that in the news now or not. So I saw that.
Believe it or not,
They're having riots now.
Where they were marching today was where I walk to and from work every day. So I'm glad I didn't work late tonight because I would have been walking through the crowd probably.
They're still marching.
They're still marching.
They do march. What is that?
You
Funny thing, MLB tweeted out the other day. I retweeted through that. It's a lemonade vendor from Arizona.
Yep, I saw that.
You saw that. It's funny. Very funny.
Wow.
Looks like Mr. Jericho is ready for his show, starting in a couple minutes. So do we want to wrap it up, guys, pretty soon?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I want to go jump on. I'm going to watch the NFL draft here. Tell me how the Jericho thing goes. All right, guys, final thoughts. You should get 20 seconds for final thoughts. My final thoughts is, hey, people in Philadelphia, don't be so down. We didn't get Mariota. At least we didn't give up 4 first-round picks or whatever we're going to give up because that would have been horrendous in a starting defensive line. So, Stephen Page, your final thoughts.
I want to say to Philadelphia, Baltimore, to the city of Baltimore, stop freaking destroying your city over, you're not protesting this. You're not making your cause any better by burning your city down.
All right, thank you. Rue TV.
I will be at Wizard World Philadelphia, speaking of Philly, next week for 2 days, filming some television for my YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for that, or show up to Wizard World and we'll have a beer and a hot dog.
Any friends going to be here?
I heard there's going to be a couple of my interesting friends. Yeah, some Italian guy who has this fascination with Minnesota sports.
Ba-boom!
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, Mr. Lane, your final thoughts?
Well, all I have to say is it's just a shame of what's going on in Baltimore these days. It's terrible, but I'm looking forward to this NFL draft a little bit. Both of my teams lost this week. It was terrible. The Braves lost, of course. And then, of course, this team right here, if y'all could see that, the Red Wings, not the Rangers, but the Detroit Red Wings right there, they lost last night to the Tampa Bay Lightning. As long as an original 6 team wins the Cup, I'm happy. And also when I did my if I may for a couple seconds, I did my Stanley Cup brackets. I don't know if y'all do that or not. I actually have. Let me just show it to y'all real quick, if I can. Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. I don't want to hold anybody up here. I actually have the Blackhawks, and if y'all can see that, I had the Blackhawks and the Canadiens in the final, and I actually have the Montreal Canadiens winning the cup. So that's just a pick for fun. So that's all.
All right.
Like that.
Mr. Josh Hinkle, final thoughts.
And it's just a shame about Baltimore. It's just people are just going insane about things and just they can't do things peacefully. They're just paying the price. And the other thing is, join the brand for $4.95 a month. Realm Network, VinceRussoBrand.com.
Here we go.
Beautiful. All right, guys. I want to thank the co-host tonight, Mr. Root TV. Everybody have a good week, and I want to sign off saying right on.
Comes later again, drawing a foul, giving Duke the lead. This man's my guardian angel. Kentucky has the ball with 8
All right,
seconds.
see you guys. Enjoy.
I don't know what you're doing. Who is that? I'm out of here.